Last weekend, I came face to face with the end boss to Metroid Dread, the Raven Beak. Yes. If you're not used to a boss like Raven Beak, you may be hitting a brick wall of hurt because Ravenbeak is not only much more difficult than what you might expect from your typical end boss to a Metroid game, it's not Mother Brain. It's not just simply breaking the case and then shooting a brain until you have to then go into an escape scene. No, 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 no. Ravenbeak is a whole lot more dynamic, a lot faster, a lot more powerful, has a whole lot of different moves, has three phases, some of which are much more difficult than others, and all which have very dynamic moves within them that you either have to escape, counter, or in some way get through so you can finally get to that awesome ending to the game. Now, there are definitely different ways of going about this. I came into this battle with 100% of all the items within the game. Yes, I painstakingly went through and collected all the different items, went through all the different Shine Spark puzzles, everything. This took me 26 hours. So what I was doing is I was balancing a pretty hefty work schedule with being able to play this every couple hours, either at night or on the weekend, just to kind of de-stress. But I found myself before long actually at the end boss of Metroid Dread, which was amazing. So just as a heads up and general disclaimer, this boss may be more difficult than what you're expecting. But having gone through this process and actually gone to the point where I can routinely beat Ravenbeak, I would say probably 75% of the time that I face him, I wanted to share my process and my methodology for beating him. Now, part of this is just going through and facing him X amount of times so you get used to the points of when you need to counter, getting used to what part of his attacks you can counter, how to escape his other attacks and dodge them, and just knowing how to go about this battle. Now, that's a huge advantage. It took me quite a long time to discover how to actually beat him, but once I did, you then get into the awesome rest of the game, which I will not uncover in this video. I will also not share with you the dialogue or what happens directly before this fight because I do not want to reveal any of that. I want you to be able to experience that all on your own because it's a really interesting and really awesome part of this game. And if you've made it this far in the game to the final end boss of the game, you should be able to experience that for yourself, honestly. All I'm going to be showing to you today is how to beat Ravenbeak. I'm going to be doing it in the best way I know how. So I'll be going and sharing with you what I've experienced in a battle, where I've learned how to counter and where I've learned how to dodge, and even being able to use a few of his attacks to gain health and additional missiles. So all this comes from just having to face him pretty much over 20 times and finally on that 21st try being able to beat him. But now I can routinely beat him. So sit back, relax, and if you have not seen my channel or seen any of my videos so far, I am Steve from the Chicago Retro Gamer. I'm really happy to produce the first video we've done in a very long time. So sit back, relax, and just realize that damn, it feels good to be a gamer. Alright, we've made it. The final boss to Metroid Dread Ravenbeak. Please note that I'm coming into this battle with 100% of all the possible items in the game up until this point, but at the very least I would suggest having the phase shift, the space jump, as well as the storm missile so you can lock on and hit him with those throughout the entirety of the battle. I'll be skipping this next part on purpose so you can enjoy at your own leisure. When the battle begins, hit him with as many missiles as possible, lock on with the storm missiles, and of course try to avoid with the phase shift and space jump his powerful physical attacks. When he comes in like that, just try to get the heck out of the way, either space jump and phase shift, use that combination. Now there are movements like this coming up where you'll be able to slide underneath and then counter in order to hit him for a lot of damage. Pretty much in this battle, you have to learn where you can counter and where you can't counter. There you're able to, so and hit him for a whole lot of damage when you do. When this orb comes out, hit it and destroy it. I wasn't able to successfully do it there, but it'll replenish your life as well as your missile count when you do that. When this beam attack comes out, come close as to avoid it. Draw him in if you can for that attack so you can counter it and just keep on locking on and shooting and dealing damage. If you're trapped in a corner like that, you're going to want to use the space jump as well as phase shift combination, which has been a super strong combination throughout the entirety of the boss battles in this game. Alright, so come in close, deal damage. You actually can't deal damage when he's from missiles and beam attacks when he's in the golden protective suit. But I still hit him with them anyways to draw him outwards in order to counter his other moves. So like that. When you're able to counter it, then deal the damage, and then also get into protective mode. So either coming in close when necessary, or moving him away to avoid his very powerful physical attacks. Then I was able to destroy the orb, so I got missiles as well as health improvement, and then I was able to escape his other moves. So coming in closer like that really can help determine the rhythm and also how successful you are in phase 1. So here I was able to counter that move, and this is an extended animated scene. You'll just have to counter it once, and then you can shoot missiles throughout it in order to deal damage and continue on with phase 1. Phase 1 is by far the most annoying phase for me, actually, because you don't exactly know which move he's going to do. It's kind of hard to tell. In the later phases, you'll be able to see that moves are a little bit more telegraphed. So there you're able to counter it and just keep on blasting him with missiles throughout it until you get to the point where you deal enough damage and you're now successfully into phase 2. I enjoyed an awesome cutscene here, and get ready to start hitting him with more missiles. Here he grows wings and he starts to fly around you. Now, as I said before in this phase, what makes it a little bit easier, actually, I think for me, is that he telegraphs his moves. He either winds up or charges up his beam, so you can kind of see he's about to attack or do a downward physical attack like that. So whenever he's about to come at you, either slide underneath him or get the heck out of the way. So there's one other move that he does, which I believe he's about to do. He uses the laser guidance on his beam attack. For that, you're going to want to circle around him and stay in close proximity to him as they cut the corners and go about that as quickly as possible. So what I do as a pro tip for this, or at least as an amateur tip, I guess, is I hold down the missile button so as to start the sequence for store missiles or just regular ice missiles as well. So the more missiles you can hit them with during these in-between parts of the various different attacks, the more damage you're going to deal to him. So there is no protective golden layer here, like in the first phase. And just keep on avoiding him when necessary, when he attacks, or when he comes at you or comes down on you. Just avoid those attacks, and then keep on locking on with the storm missiles. As I said before, storm missiles are your friend in this battle, for sure. Keep on hitting them with those. Don't worry about your missile count too much unless you came into this battle with very low missiles. But at this point in the game, you probably have not, I'm assuming. So yeah, just keep on hitting with missiles, and eventually you're going to get to the point where we move into phase 3. The one thing that a lot of people complain about in this phase is that there's no opportunity to get health. So just make sure that you come into this phase with a decent amount of health. You will be able to have some opportunity to get health in the next phase, but just as a heads up, you're going to want to get the rhythm down of this phase so you can go more effectively through it. Cool. And then he just keeps on attacking you. You're able to get out of the situations, and you hit him for enough damage that we move into phase 3. So enjoy this awesome cutscene. And here, since you beat him with his wings on and you destroyed one of the wings, he has a really cool scene here where he rips the other one off, and then he assumes his last and final form, or last and final phase. Now, please note for this form, there are opportunities to get health, like right there with that orb if you destroy it. And there's also another type of like sun-like orb. Now here you want to have the right button clicked down, and you want to make sure that you're always ready to do a power bomb, because that's not only an opportunity to get more health, but also replenish your missile count as well. And also, if you don't destroy it, then it turns into another thing that's attacking you on the screen. So use the combination that you used before and getting in close, as he has some of the same moves from phase 1. Getting in close to avoid that beam attack, but then also when he shoots orbs like that, make sure to destroy him. And when he winds up for this powerful beam attack, try to make the rhythm of it, like it's generally 2 space jumps and then a phase shift away. So that's kind of how you go about that. And this blue attack is incredibly powerful, but at least from my knowledge, you're not able to counter it. You are able to counter it kind of like uppercut punch moves. So counter if at all possible, and then get away from him. I don't think you're able to counter that last like double punch move, but destroy this orb, get some health, and then keep on rocking and rolling throughout this entire battle.
That beam is really powerful. I just got hit by it by a lot. Try to the best you can to avoid that. And if you're stuck in a situation again where you can't get out of it, just make sure to space jump and then phase shift away. So keep on hitting them for enough damage until you finally get to the end here, and just counter these two moves, and I will allow you to view the rest for yourself.
Alright, that is how you beat Ravenbeak, the final boss in Metroid Dread, an incredible game that has an incredible ending and unforgettable final boss to it. Hopefully you're able to apply this knowledge and insights that we learned through playing this boss over 20 different times and for countless hours, and you're able to go about this battle in a much more effective and faster ways. So feel free to share your own gameplay with us. Definitely comment below if there's anything else you'd like to see and or hear, or also let us know about your experiences with this boss as well in the comments below. With that, if you enjoyed our video, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Let's throw down a like, comment below what you liked about it or what you didn't like about it so we can improve for the future. With that, I just want to remind you that damn, it feels good to be a gamer, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend.